kapag hindi nagluluto yung nanay, lahat ng miyembro ng pamilya magluluto kasi kailangan nilang mabuhay.
Expect nothing and appreciate everything. Surprise yourself and become the most interesting person you know.
Tsaka pag bored ka, gagawa ka ng paraan dun sa mga bagay na dead end para sa'yo.
Bigla ba naman nagsabi nung 17 ba? 16, 17? Dad, Mom, I want to enter showbiz. Welcome back to Marriage is a Marathon.
The podcast.
Run it one step at a time. Ako po si Anthony Pangilinan.
And I am Maricel Laksa Pangilinan.
And we are now talking about surprises. We're following an acrostic from, ito na naman tayo, making a decision, M, allowing time for preparation,
Reviewing the route.
R, asking those who've gone before you, A, taking your loved ones with you, and then having more than just finishing as your agenda. Ngayon, nasa O na tayo, malapit na.
Open your heart and mind to surprises.
Like this book. Ito,
My
surprise,
gosh,
diba?
hindi naman namin alam na makakasulat kami ng libro by just running all the marathons that we've ran. So, between us, we've run so many marathons and these are actually world marathon majors.
Wala sa plano yun na, oy, takbo tayo tapos sulat tayo ng libro. Diba? No, we just wrote it after.
We realized, wait, the same lessons that we learned training, racing, recovering from these marathons are the same lessons that we will need to have to endure a marriage to the finish.
You know, I just realized it. Write to the people who are watching us today. Write a book. Write a vlog.
A
write
journal.
A journal, a diary. Kasi when you write about your experiences, you actually learn twice as much.
You know,
Diba?
my
Mas lalo ka
mother-in-law
natututo.
is 91 years old, your mom. And every single day, she writes in her journal. So she is actually documenting a historical story of your life and
Grabe
her
siya.
life, and she prays for every single member of her family every hour of every day.
Thanks, Mom, for being a writer, a documenter,
Yes.
a history teacher.
And because of that, at 91, she doesn't have dementia.
Gotcha. Well, ako I was amazed, surprised at the fact that I actually ran my first post-surgery, not marathon, 5-kilometer race just about 2 months ago or less. And I actually enjoyed it.
And
Akala ko
this was-
magdudusa ako.
Well, kasi you had no choice but to run it because Hannah organized the Just One Fun Run. And actually po, last year, when it ran for the first time, nasa ospital si Anthony.
I was getting prepped for my surgery, di ba?
So you couldn't run with us.
Yes, and
But
this one,
time,
and to enjoy it, thanks Ella, ha?
Yeah.
Saying sumama sa akin to pace me. Wow, that was a surprise. I can actually enjoy running again. Well, I was thinking about surprises in our marathons. Isa dun yung nangyari sa New York.
yes, I was about to run
Ikaw
New
lang
York.
yun, di ba?
It was
sinamahan lang
me.
kita eh. Oo.
It was supposed to be my first marathon, New York. Kaya lang, Hurricane Sandy hit New York and it canceled all flights. It canceled the marathon. And then we found ourselves there already with hundreds and thousands of runners na hindi makakatakbo. And then, one of our friends, si Army,
CNN.
from CNN, was looking for some people who were supposed to run a marathon to talk about their journey. Kung kamusta na ba sila. So tayo yung napiling kausapin. And nakakatuwa naman kasi when I was interviewed by CNN, na-realize ko, you know, it is not really a loss for us. It is a win because though na-cancel and yes, maraming ginastos, as Filipinos, sanay tayo sa mga bagyo. And we were there to support. We were there to be with the runners who, you know, just wanted to come together to help the community in whatever way we could.
And eventually you did run the New York Marathon.
Eventually, but not at that time kasi
Okay.
na-cancel nga.
Ito importante sa akin to. For me, one of the biggest surprises is that the joy and the pride, and the transformation is not running the marathon. It's the preparation. It's the preparation. I was surprised. Akala ko yung pinaka-glorious part dyan, yung pagtakbo. Yung talagang hindi mo kakalimutan yung pagtakbo mismo ng marathon. Hindi eh. Yung 6 months before, it's the preparation that changes you. It's the preparation that you appreciate the most. So in my case, it's preparing 13 times for those marathons. Well, 12 lang yung natapos ko. Yung isa hindi ko natapos eh. Chicago, the first time.
Because
On the second time, I didn't finish.
you had a stomach problem.
I don't even remember. But I know my goal there was to run with you halfway.
Yes.
Diba? Parang pace lang. Kasi natakbo ko na eh.
Yes, support ka lang naman talaga sa akin. But you can say that preparation is the key to having a glorious finish if you prepared well.
Yon. And that is something we'll discuss
Later
in
on.
a minute, no?
Yeah.
Or so. Meron tayong acrostic, okay? A guide. Guys, remember the word wow. Pagdating sa surprise ng buhay ninyo, remember the word wow. Ano yung wow? Number 1, wake-up calls lead to transformation. Wake-up calls. Number 2, opportunities are often disguised as obstacles. And number 3, wonder keeps the spirit alive. So, unahin natin yung number 1.
Wake-up call.
Wake-up calls lead to change and transformation. So, yung hindi ka natapos, halimbawa,
When we were
diba?
invited to run the Sydney Marathon by Coach Rio de la Cruz, you really signed up for the marathon because you were ready.
Yeah, we were supposed to be ready, both of us.
No. I wasn't really prepared. But I thought to myself, what's a 42K? Nagyabang ako kasi parang I've ran so
Pride
many
comes
already.
before the fall.
Ano ba naman yung I'll just run with you? Whereas si Hannah, she really prepared for her half marathon.
Yeah.
Which she finished in really amazing time, sub 2. So, I ran it without much preparation. And to my surprise, hindi ako natapos. Surprise ba?
5 kilometers na lang, I was pleading. Han,
No.
malapit na.
3 kilometers na lang.
Malapit na.
No, kasi nag-switch off na yung
Wala na.
mind ko eh. Once nag-decide na ako,
What the mind conceives, the
Wala
body
na.
achieves. Wala, yung mind mo nun. Wala na. Talagang dalhin nyo na ako sa medic.
etong nakakatawa. Akala ko, pag nag-quit ako, so nasa medic ako, di ba? 3 kilometers to go. Akala ko, pag nag-quit ako, dadalhin nila ako sa finish line. Alam mo sabi sa akin? After you recover, you will have to walk to the finish line. Ganon rin pala.
Nagdab ka ata eh. Sumakay ka ata ng sasakyan, di ba?
Hindi.
Oh my God.
Nilakad ko rin.
Well,
Ganon din pala. So sabi ko,
ano yung wake-up call doon sa'yo nga?
I should never commit to run a race without having prepared.
And
if I did not prepare and I am already in the race, kahit gapangin ko yun, dapat tinapos ko na.
meron pa, the value of hydration.
Ayun.
Nutrition, hydration.
Hindi ko kasi yun
Mali.
ginawa.
Akala mo yung tinitake mo was enough.
No,
Hindi
I
pala.
had a plan. I changed my plan.
Okay.
Nag-switch ako ng bagong nutrition
Okay.
2 days before race day. Hindi ko pa yun nasubukan. Sa dami ng marathons na tinakbo natin, dapat alam ko na yun eh.
At ako naman sa dami ng ating mga negosyo at pinag-aralan, nag-master's pa at lahat, wake up ko sa akin yung malugi talaga sa negosyo.
Yung magsara yung ilang negosyo natin.
No, seriously, that was also a case of maybe pride. Tanggapin ko na, not enough homework. And
Kahiyaan na lang.
yeah, but I think that led to not just me, you and I committing to be better stewards, that we pray and plan more about the ventures we get into. So, kayo po, ask yourself, meron bang wake-up call na nangyayari sa buhay niyo ngayon na hindi niyo pinapakinggan? Di ba? Is there a wake-up call? Sumisigaw na ang Panginoon, di ba? Matigas pa rin ang ulo, right? Being stubborn and not wanting to hear. Think about it. Because wake-up calls lead to change. This is part of surprises. Wake-up calls lead to transformation. Okay, so nasa O naman tayo. Pagdating sa surprises, opportunities are sometimes disguised as obstacles. Obstacle. So, para sa akin, early on in marriage, alam nyo na to, some of you know this, na para sa akin, obstacle na hindi nagluluto si Maricel sa bahay. Nagluluto sa TV, linggo-linggo, pero hindi sa bahay. So, ang sama ng loob ko nun. Sabi ko, what a fake. So, sabi ko, ako na lang ang magluluto. You know? So, for me, parang sapilitan, parang ang bigat ng loob ko. We had a cook, I believe, but iba naman yung paminsan-minsan, di ba, one of us would do it for the family, for the kids.
Ito yung blessing dyan. Nagluluto ka at lahat ng mga anak natin masarap magluto.
Yes.
So,
yes, because
it turned out to be a wonderful opportunity. Pag hindi nagluluto yung nanay, lahat ng miyembro ng pamilya magluluto kasi kailangan nilang mabuhay.
akala ko obstacle sa nung una, pero hindi. Opportunity pala siya.
They bake, they cook, they do everything in the kitchen, something I cannot do.
So, na-trigger yon sa mga bata na sila rin dapat magluto, mag-bake. And ako rin pala, when I was a kid, I loved cooking with my dad. I just had forgotten who you are.
And remember,
sabi ni Mufasa kay Simba, you have forgotten who you are. You are my son. At marunong kang magluto tulad ko. Kapampangan pa naman tayo. Di ba?
Remember, kaya ako nagluluto sa TV, may script. At may step-by-step guide ng chef, ni Chef Jay Gamboa, who is my kumpare, na nag-guide sa akin.
Okay, balikan natin to.
Host ako, hindi chef.
Yes, and nakalimutan mo rin yan. Kasi nung nag-asawa kami, nagdesisyon siya, hindi na siya mag-showbiz, hindi na siya
I retired.
magpipelikula, hindi na siya gagawa ng serye, whatever it is. Right? But, when our children reminded her of who you are, ito na naman tayo, di ba? Mom! You're an actress. An actor, that's your gift. That's who you are. Surprise!
Surprise!
Diba? For you, obstacle yon kasi gusto mo, you're available for me. Diba?
And the kids.
And the kids. Sa akin, obstacle din yon na hindi ka bumabalik kasi, my
Sayang
God,
yung
sayang
kita.
din yung kita. And then when you decided to listen to your kids, boom, it was an opportunity.
Yes. And I found my second wind.
Grabe. First movie sa pagbalik mo. Hello, Love. Goodbye. Best supporting actress ka agad. Grabe, ha? So what an opportunity to rediscover your talent and your gift. What opportunity is in front of you now, husband or wife, that is disguised as an obstacle? In fact, nung bata pa si Donnie, ang anak namin si Donnie,
Mahiyain.
introvert. Di nagsasalita.
Ayaw ng maraming tao.
Bigla ba naman nagsabi nung 17 ba? 16, 17? Dad, Mom, I want to enter showbiz. Obstacle kagad sa iyo.
Ayoko
Nagalit ka nun, di
ayoko
ba?
talaga. I will not support this. This is not my plan for you.
Yung-
I will not make introductions for
Yung
you.
pala, ang tagal niya nang iniisip. Ganun si Donnie, no? Iniisip ng matagal.
Slow to warm up, shy child. Processing.
yung pagsasalita ni Donnie, akala namin meron siyang kondisyon na kailangang gamutin kasi magto 2 years old na, hindi pa nagsasalita. So sabi namin, out of concern, pakita na natin sa doktor to. Tapos nung nag 2 years old si Donnie, hi, Mom! Ganun na!
He spoke in complete sentences.
Hi, Dad! Can you imagine? Yung pala, nagpa-practice na siya sa isip niya kung paano magsalita para pag nandyan na ang pagkakataon, the opportunity is there, he would seize it. Diba? Sa gano'n din pala, nag-iisip na kung anong diskarte niya para pag timing na, mag-aartista na siya. Right?
But hindi naman lahat na nag-aartista nagsasucceed. So, yung obstacle ng paghihirap niya, pinagsikapan niya, ngayon ay naging
Oh my God.
opportunity.
Pag-uwi yan, tapos hindi siya natanggap sa audition, di ba?
Sama ng
Gusto mo
loob.
umiyak kasama niya.
Tapos sinasabi natin, oh, pagod ka na? Tama na yan. Hindi, gusto ko talaga to eh.
Tapos kinausap niya lahat ng mga kasamahan natin sa bahay, wag niyo na akong, do not speak to me in English. Ganun, di ba? Sabi niya, lahat, yung driver, yung cook, Tagalogin daw siya kasi talagang magpa-practice siya mag-Tagalog, di ba? Because, of course, he wanted to be in Philippine show business. So, he saw it not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to learn a new language. So, ganun ba ang sitwasyon nyo ngayon? What obstacle are you facing at the moment? Yung pala, opportunity lang siya if you dive into it. Tama na, wow pa lang tayo.
Oo nga.
Wow dapat. And the last letter is wonder. Wonder,
Wow.
which is what you define, how you define it is sense of admiration. Sense of admiration and amazement. Wow, wow. Diba?
It
Parang nandyan
keeps
sa
your
harap mo.
spirit alive.
Yes, yes. It keeps your spirit alive. And Solana is a surprise. Right?
Yes.
Hindi namin plinano si Solana. Well, baka plinano ni Maricel. Hindi ko alam. Umamin ka na. Because after 10 years yun, dumating. Surprise! I'm here!
After 10 years of baby number 4, Solana just came.
Solana is sunshine.
As a surprise.
Solana is sunlight. Diba? Sola is sun. So look at this. Expect nothing and appreciate everything. Surprise yourself and become the most interesting person you know. That's Solana.
Solana is wonder in the flesh.
Grabe. Talagang sense of wonder ang makikita mo kay Solana. And let me share this. Last week lang, or 2 weeks ago, she was thanking me. Sabi niya, Dad, thank you for not giving me a phone.
A smartphone.
Yes.
Because she has a dumb phone.
Meron siyang dumb phone, analog. Thank you for not giving me a smartphone. Because I was able to knit. Because I was able to beading, di ba? Because I was able to read. Solana has read the most books in this house.
Around 500 books.
Oh my gosh. Grabe yan. Talagang amazing. Right?
Yeah.
Creative and always in awe. That's Solana. And ito, para sa atin lahat to, ha? Sabi niya, one major reason is because she doesn't have a smartphone. And remember, we just went to, we went through this message of
Digital detox.
Yes, in church. And can I just quote from Jonathan Haidt? Okay? This is paraphrased from his book, The Anxious Generation. Boredom is not the enemy. It is the gateway to self-discovery. It is the gateway to self-discovery. You will only be surprised if you give yourself time to be bored.
Yeah, so it's okay to be bored.
It's
Yan ang palagi
okay
kong
to be
sinasabi.
bored. Kasi
Yeah.
pag bored ka, bumubukas ang isip mo. Pag bored ka, may hinihintay kang susunod na exciting. Pag bored ka, your imagination opens up.
Tsaka pag bored ka, gagawa ka ng paraan dun sa mga bagay na dead end para sa'yo.
Pero, Jam, kung parati ka na sa telepono mo, tapos scroll, di ba? Hindi ka na nabobored.
Walang oras yan si Jam.
Diba?
Kasi lagi silang may ganap.
Oh, sorry. Ano pala? Liya pala yun. You know? Hindi, kasi you don't have time to be bored because you're always surprised. Oh, surprise. But that kind of surprise is the same algorithm that people experience when they are in the slot machine. Yung pala yun. Same. Slot machine. Ching, di ba pag slot machine? It's the same technology.
Ching, ching, ching.
Press. Di ba? Ganun. So, ganun din. So, what happens is, nare-release yung dopamine kasi may bago. Baka manalo, di ba? But of course, you never really win. You know, you just lose more attention and lose more of yourself. So, allowing yourself not to be on your phones on specific periods, for example, setting aside, or in this case,
Pag kumakain,
eto, natutunan natin to, grayscale. Pag grayscale mo siya, boring na mag-scroll, di ba? So, I use it less. So, surprise happens when you allow yourself to be bored.
may isa pang surprise. hahaba yung attention span mo. If you use your phone wisely, you make it a dumb phone, and then you make yourself a smart person.
Tama.
Kasi, for
Oo.
example, yung goldfish, ano yung attention span niya?
9 seconds, goldfish.
Galing. Yung mga tao.
8 seconds. So, mas may attention ng goldfish kaysa sa tao. So consider that, no? Make your smartphone dumb by choosing apps that will that help you with
As
productivity.
utilities.
Pero yung iba na hindi naman talaga kailangan, either i-delete mo siya or anong tawag doon? May function eh. Hindi mo siya di-delete. Offload mo na muna.
Yes, offload.
Diba? So parang kang si Marie Kondo. After a while, you ask yourself, does this still spark joy? Diba? Kung hindi na, tanggalin mo na lang permanently.
Pwede naman din mag-scroll,
Scroll.
doom scrolling pag break time.
Pag break time.
Gawa ka ng
Kaya nga
time.
periods of time,
Oo,
importante
time.
yan.
Wag naman totally zero. Tsaka bago ka matulog, wag na lang sa tabi mo.
Okay, so balikan natin yung punto. If you want to still experience surprises, diba? Set aside that smartphone.
Yes.
So, tatlo yan. Wake-up calls lead to change and transformation. Opportunities are often disguised as obstacles. And wonder keeps the spirit alive.
Okay.
It's amazing. Look at this, how the unexpected can become the unforgettable.
And we want to quote 1 Corinthians 2:9. However, as it is written, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him.
Thank you for watching this episode. Oh, kiss.
Bakit?
Para surprise.
This has been Marriage is a Marathon, the
That's surprise,
podcast.
Practice what you preach.
Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Marriage is a Marathon, the podcast. Run it one step at a time. Thank you so much, Mango, for our outfits for today.
For feedback and suggestions, please comment below. Follow us on our socials, Anthony Pangilinan and Mommy Maricel. See you next podcast. God bless.